Arrest, charge, incarcerate, repeat. This is how our criminal justice system is run, according to Sheriff Tom Dart. And he says it's too expensive and not working. It's overcrowding the jails, forming a class of largely African-American inmates who are stuck in the system at a huge expense.
The people that I deal with come in and out of my jail over and over and over again, 15, 16, 20, 30 times. Now, is that something where anything we've done, penalize them, whatever, is it working? I'd say no. And so I always tell people, set aside the moral issues if people care to. From a financial standpoint, how does that work? It's basically $150 a day for me to house someone here in this jail if they do nothing, if they just sit in their cell.
Remember Carzell? He was arrested for having one bag of heroin. He'll serve about 4 months in jail. The cost to taxpayers, more than $18,000. Sheriff Dart says sitting in a cell isn't doing anything to help rehabilitate low-level offenders, and he points out it's financially unsustainable.
People, though, who say, look, keeping somebody who's committed a crime, even if it's a low-level crime, off the streets, that does keep them off the streets from committing another crime or perhaps doing something even worse.
There probably could be some validity to that argument if there was no real expense attached to it. It's such an expensive proposition that I don't know why anybody would say, well, keeping him off the street here is better than keeping him on an electronic monitoring device at maybe a shelter where he's being fed, he's there, he's not doing anything, not causing any problems, his meds are being regulated.
When are you going to be getting out?
Angela, Rachel, and Joshua have all been in the Cook County Jail for months.
How many times have you been arrested total?
23 times they told me.
23?
Mm-hmm.
How about
I think mine's 26.
26?
Yeah.
Did you know?
I don't know, maybe 10.
Angela and Rachel both arrested multiple times for drug possession and prostitution. Joshua was arrested for shoplifting. They've all been addicted to drugs for years.
What did you steal?
Over-the-counter medicine.
And was that for your own use, or were you going to sell it?
No, it's for resale.
And was that for money for drugs?
Everything, drugs, food, place to stay.
None of them have ever been arrested for a violent crime. Angela, who's 45, says she spent half her life in and out of jail, and she's tired of it.
Since I've been here, I've seen 5 women that left right when I got here, and they're back again. And it scares the hell out of me because I don't want to be one of those women.
And they'll leave one day and come back the next week.
All 3 are well aware of how hard it will be for them to make it on the outside. They all have to serve probation, find sponsors, a job, a place to stay. Otherwise, they'll end up back here.
You face a difficult hurdle. You're gonna get out soon. I mean, all of you are gonna get out soon, and the temptation's going to be there to go back to the heroin, start using again.
Always.
And that leads to petty crimes. It leads to prostitution. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
It feels overwhelming.
It feels overwhelming because what if I mess up?
The combined cost of incarceration this time for Angela, Rachel, and Joshua, more than $94,000.
They offer you a year, and you go, and you do it, and you get out, and then you get caught, and then you go, and then you do it, and then you get caught.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
Angela says if she'd only been given treatment for her addiction the first time she was arrested, she might have lived a very different life. That's the hope of Sheriff Dart, to give the majority of these inmates treatment, not jail time, and try to fix a system that he says is at its breaking point.
You believe people in the future will look back at this time and shake their heads about how we as a society treated people?
Oh, they'll be disgusted. They'll be absolutely disgusted.
In what way?
In the sense that the same people that find so much joy looking at a Dickens novel and saying, oh my God, look how horrible it was back then, and just look at that society, what a tortured society that was. Well, then be sitting there saying, yeah, these were the same people in our era who just blindly just dumped people who had illness issues into jails and prisons. How's that different?